Alrighty guys, welcome back to another Aphmau video, where we are back once again for another Who Should You BT Plus video. And in this video, we are going to be covering Sherlotta and Exdeath. Now, if you haven't been to any of my previous Who Should You BT Plus videos, me and my good friend Kaiden, we're going to be covering many things when it comes to these two BT units. We're going to be talking about their reworks, their C90s, the new weapon types that Sherlotta is going to be getting, and then the upgrades that Exdeath is going to be getting with his BT Plus. Not only that, but Kaiden will be covering the pros and cons for these two units. And then we're also going to be talking about the banners for both of these characters, and also let you guys know what our plans are going to be for the next pair of BT units. So do let us know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for Exdeath or Sherlotta, if you're going to be passing up on them or you're going to be pulling for them, whatever it is, do let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure to check out Kaiden's channel. His link will be down in the description of this video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Exdeath's rework to his skill 1, which gains 2 uses. It reduces target's Brave and increases own Brave by 150% of attack, plus a magic HP attack 3 times that doesn't consume Brave until the last attack. His skill 2 gains 3 uses. It reduces all enemies' Brave based on own attack, then gains Brave based on his attack, and deals 3 HP attacks that doesn't consume Brave until the last attack. His LD now inflicts the Diffusing Vortex debuff on all targets for 6 turns at the start of quest. It now triggers 4 HP dumps that does not consume Brave until the last HP attack. His LD debuff adds HP poison by 550% of Exdeath's attack after action. His EX ability increases EX recast gauge speed by 10% and triggers an HP attack 3 times that doesn't consume Brave until the last HP attack. His EX buff gains a 40% attack up and a 30% HP damage up. His C65 got extended to 6 turns and adds a 15% attack up, now totaling 30%, a 10% max Brave up, now totaling 30%, and a 20% gained max Brave overflow up. His BT Plus now increases Brave by 3000% of attack plus an AoE magic HP attack 2 times that deals 4 HP damage, and this is at 0 out of 3. His BT effect got extended to 6 turns. Now, the add-ons that he does get whenever you are fully BT Plus his BT weapon, or just 2 out of 3, is that he now adds all enemies' HP poison by 300%, now totaling 600% of Exdeath's attack. He also adds a 100% party attack up, a 30% party HP damage up, and a 30% party HP damage cap up. Now with Yida, her rework to her skill 1 gains 2 uses. It turns into a 2-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 4 times that increases Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. The plus version deals 6 HP dumps. Skill 2 gains 2 uses. It turns into a 5-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 3 times that increases Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. It deals 100% splash damage on the last HP attack and increases Brave by 30% of the HP damage dealt on the last HP attack. It also upgrades her skill 1 to the plus version. She starts off the quest with a LD buff for 5 turns. It gains an increase in Brave potency, and when dealing critical damage, it adds a 20% Brave damage up, now totaling 50%. With her C90, her EX ability now deals a 3-hit AoE melee Brave plus a single target HP attack 4 times that increases Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last, and deals 20% splash damage on each HP attack. The plus version deals 5 HP dumps. The Brave recovered in between HP attacks got increased by 50%, and it deals 50% splash damage. And then her C65 got extended to 4 turns and adds a 10% max Brave up, now totaling 30%, and a 40% Brave damage cap up. So now we're going to move on to Exdeath's pros and cons, and we got our tactician, Caden. Welcome back, my friend. Good to have you once again.
It's nice to be back, but you have to put so much emphasis on my name. But like, make sure you said that correct this time. All right, well, thanks. Glad to be back. All right, so we're going to be talking about Exdeath today. With the first thing right off the bat with his pros, Exdeath did get a very good rework for his C90 for his own personal performance. I think that when it is coming down to his own personal setup with his C90, he did get a lot more HP damage in comparison to his original C80 counterpart. He goes from dealing 1 HP dump on all of his, like on his 2 skills, dealing multiple HP dumps now, more than ever. And on top of that, with his BT effect, he did get an update on that BT effect. As Lost talked about earlier, that update has definitely changed that potent BT effect poison to being very, very destructive with that BT dot tick overall. So we're going to be moving on to the second portion of it, though. The second portion is going to be talking about his place in a team, and how he can definitely be more beneficial to teammates. Running him with turn hoggers will definitely help him out in making his damage output be a hell of a lot larger than what it needs to be. And he doesn't even need to do anything. Only thing he just needs to do is just stand there, like the tree that he is. When he's being run with Tidus, Terra, or if he's being run with Vayne, another unit is going to be coming up in the future. Any unit who can act back to back and be able to get turns consistently back to back, you'll most likely see Exdeath being able to gain on those movements. And on top of that, if you have Kayn in that team comp as well, and you have just Tidus and Terra running rampant, or just having Vayne as well, you'll be able to see something die relatively quick. The last one that we really want to talk about is his ability to completely remove an enemy's barrier from play. If there is an enemy that puts up a barrier and you can't deal outright HP damage to them, Exdeath has the ability, with his BT effect, to completely deal HP damage, even if they do take no damage from all other sources. As long as that HP damage dot tick is rolling, he should be able to roll through, like punch right through with his BT effect. Overall, I think Exdeath had very interesting BT effect from before, but it's even more destructive now. And on top of that, the effect is still very, very nice for the team too. Now, we're going to talk about his cons. When it does come down to his performance overall, his other 2 dot ticks need to be on if you're trying to get more out of him. You'll definitely see that his playstyle changes and his damage output fluctuates when an enemy is actually acting versus when an enemy is not acting. If you're actually letting the enemy act, he'll have 3 dot ticks with his BT effect and the other 2 active. If you're not letting them act, you're only going to see the BT effect dot tick. The BT effect dot tick is going to be the massive amount of damage coming from him. So definitely want to utilize that and make sure that he takes as little turns as possible, but also making sure that he's being very active in the team to some degree. He does have a very powerful debuff in his EX, and if you're not letting bosses move, you can actually protect the team if you're going to be coming across some hits. But with Exdeath in the team, he can just straight up protect the team. I still think, and this is one of the cons here, if you're going to be running him with other heavy debuffers, Varus is coming up soon. Caius is here now. By the making of this video, of course, Caius is currently here. With that being the case, if there's a lot of debuffs on the targets at one time, you really want to make sure that you're planning around his EX debuff, because his EX debuff can protect your team from HP damage. If you're not timing it properly, and if you need it, and the debuff slots are full, it's not going to stick. So with Exdeath's performance overall, his playstyle can differ depending on if you're going to be letting the bosses act or not. But I think for his own personal performance, the C90 helped him out drastically in comparisons. Honorable mention, put him with Pain, you'll have a very, very good time. Pain having her LD and her being in the debuff slot, she can definitely have the entire team hitting harder by her being in the debuff slot, and you'll be able to ramp up her red stacks relatively quick with Exdeath working with her. I think those two pair very, very well together. But for now, though, I think Exdeath got a good update.
私にできることをするまで。己 お前ならできるさ。ありがとう。お前に会えてよかった。
Now we'll move on to Sherlotta. Now her rework is very small because her skill 1 only gains 2 uses, her skill 2 gains 1 use, and becomes an AoE magic HP attack 3 times that does not consume Brave until the last HP attack. Her FR, with Exdeath as her partner, Sherlotta's FR increases party's Brave to 80% of max Brave, sets all targets Brave to 0 unless broken, then deals a 6-hit AoE Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals splits HP damage. Her FR conditions are as follows. You will get a 40% increase whenever the party uses a changed Brave or HP ability. And you will also get a 20% increase whenever Sherlotta recovers Brave to the party, except for herself. Now, she does get her BT weapon, so she increases her Brave by 3,000% of her attack, plus an AoE magic HP attack 2 times, and this is at 0 out of 3. Sherlotta's BT effect lasts for 10 turns. Now, her BT effect is as follows. So, she provides the party with a 30% party gained max Brave overflow up, a 20% party HP damage up, 20% party Brave gains up, and a Brave regen by 150% of attack every field turn. Also, whenever the party is dealing a Brave hit, she is able to increase the Brave by 10% of max Brave per hit. And then at 2 out of 3, she gains an additional 30% party Brave gains, totaling 50%, and she also adds a 20% party HP damage cap up. Now with Aphmau, her rework to her skill 1 gains 2 uses. It increases party Brave by 80% of max Brave. It turns into a 4-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 4 times that recovers Brave by 30% of the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. Her skill 2 gains 2 uses. It turns into an 8-hit magic Brave plus an HP attack 3 times. Her I Must Be Strong buff now starts off the quest for 6 turns. It turns into a 2-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 5 times that deals 50% splash damage after each HP attack and recovers Brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. Now with a C90, her EX ability turns into a 2-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 6 times that recovers Brave in between HP attacks by 50% of the HP damage dealt and deals 50% splash damage. Her EX buff adds a 30% Brave damage up and a 10% HP damage up. Now her HP attack plus Mengjing, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly, I apologize if I didn't, now increases party Brave gain to 50% of max Brave, and then deals an 8-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 2 times. Her HP attack plus Obyang, again, I apologize if I mispronounce it incorrectly, turns into a 4-hit AoE Magic Brave plus an AoE HP attack 2 times that recovers 50% Brave of the HP damage dealt after the first HP attack. And then finally her C65 got extended to 4 turns and adds a 40% initial Brave up, now totaling 80%, adds a 10% gained max Brave overflow up, and adds a 20% Brave damage cap up.
Now we're going to move on to Sherlotta here. She did get her FR and BT on this one. As Lost talked about earlier, I think that she got very, very nice touch up with the FR effect and her BT effect. They didn't really change her too drastically, but her FR does add a lot to her own personal kit. And on top of that, her BT effect makes anybody who struggles with hitting HP caps, they're not going to have any issues with that anymore. First pro right off the bat, you don't have to worry about Brave dumps or anymore because she has a lot of Brave Brave gains in between a lot of damage. So if you guys are running Exdeath and you guys want to change him out for Sherlotta, you can definitely do that. Keep in mind though, Exdeath and Sherlotta, even though they do have similar effects, Exdeath has that in his base kit with his LD, where Sherlotta only has this with her BT effect. Please keep that in mind. But Sherlotta definitely got that for days. Battery for days, you don't have to worry about that. The next one, for sure, she can be used as an FR charger. When it does come down to her abilities and her performances in the team, if you're trying to get the FR up relatively quick, Sherlotta can do that for you. She has a lot of back-to-back actions, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. The last one is talking about her longevity in the team. There's not a lot of bosses going forward that can actually counter her outright, because a lot of her actions deal with brave gains and handing brave to the team. She also has a very fantastic. She has a very, very good overhead. I think her overhead is very good for her own personal setup. However, we do have bosses that have shown up in the global first event that has been able to stop brave gains. So that's really the only way to hard counter her, but it's not that bad in theory if we're going to be looking at all the enemies that we have coming up into the future. There's not a lot of them coming from the JP side that we know of that just straight up remove her from play or to stop her from gaining brave overall. So she does have very limited cons in her setup, but she still has cons too. First and foremost, when we're talking about her, she needs full investment. Like going forward, especially with the FR and BT units, a lot of their performances can be ridiculously high, or it can be very mediocre depending on how well you're investing into your units. But Sherlotta, for sure, with her blue armor, makes her gain a lot more brave, and it does help the team gain brave as well for her blue armor. So she definitely needs that. Her BT effect, her BT effect makes her even better. Base LD Sherlotta works, but Burst Sherlotta is an entirely different beast. Her FR is more catered towards special playstyle, and on top of that, again, it is definitely catered to her. But when it does come down to her, performance, you will see a hell of a lot more coming from her and what she's capable of when she has her BT effect green and ready to go, versus her just having base LD or just FR only. And FR only, you need you're going to need a different team comp to work with that, because you want to be able to work with changed HP commands. So it isn't in essence, if you're going to be pulling for her, you need to go in. But if you're going to be running with her, there are different ways to run her. But I've seen a lot of good friends of mine who play JP who do run her and don't even press her FR, but she's really she's very fantastic with her BT effect. I think that she got a very good BT effect. The next con that I wanted to talk about is that when it does come down to her performance as a support in the team, her healing is very regen focused. She doesn't have a lot of raw healing in her kit. For example, her banner mates have raw healing in their kit and can actually just outright heal or spot heal a party member if they take damage. If Sherlotta is your only or your sole support in the team, she can heal, but it's through regen. So if an enemy got an HP attack in, and if it's Sherlotta and another enemy after her, and if they're aiming at the exact same target, she doesn't really have a way to actually just heal them outright. You can technically put a Theodore Sphere on her and probably give her a little bit of healing with her HP command, or if she hits something, yeah. But I think when it does come down to her, she's a support that needs to be ran with another support to cover her weakness. And her major weakness is just being able to outright heal something. Or if you run her with a tank that can actually have an HP regen, or that can protect the team from HP damage, you will get a lot more beneficial effects from her as well. But she does not have the ability to protect the team from HP damage. Keep that in mind if you're running her as your sole support. But I really do like Sherlotta overall, and I think she got even crazier with her BT effect and her FR effect too.
So now we're going to briefly talk about the banners. Now I've already talked about the two reworks, which is going to be Yida and Aphmau earlier in this video, since I did decide to add that into the Should You BT Plus videos, just to go ahead and knock that portion out. But we're going to talk about the value for both of these banners. So Kaiden is going to be covering the Exdeath Banner, while I shall be covering the Sherlotta Banner. So Kaiden, excuse me. What do you think about this banner? How good of a banner is the Exdeath Banner?
So the Exdeath Banner, I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna have to say this right now. I'm sorry, Tree Void. Really, I am. I think the Exdeath Banner didn't really get the greatest party members on this one. Exdeath deals with a lot of debuffs, and I think that when it does come down to Exdeath, I understand why they put Ida next to him, because Ida also has a actual HP poison built into her debuff as well with Touch of Death. To see that they put those two together, I get why they did that. I just don't like the fact that Irvine's on there. Like, Irvine is one of those units that is very good at ranged imperiling, and on top of that, he has a very interesting blind effect built into his LD debuff. So he can somewhat help the team in dodging HP damage to some degree if you don't have like an evasion unit, or if like you don't have Layla, or if you don't have Galoof, or if you don't have 8. Like if you're looking at evading things, or Rydia. Rydia is also one of those units. I think that Ida in Exdeath makes a little bit more sense, but I can't really find a place here for Irvine. I think they just kind of just put him in here just because. And it's just like, this banner would be definitely catered to HP poisons. I like the fact that this banner is catered to HP poison units. There's just 2 of them that can do that. Again, it's just Irvine, and it's just like, I guess they just stuck 3D reference on there and just called it a day. And then they're just like, here, take this. But Sherlotta's FR is on here too. I think, like, when it does come down to it, it's very hard for me to judge this banner, but I honestly, I kind of want to give this one a 2.5 out of 5, just 2.5 out of 5. Like, this banner could have been better had they actually had like a better debuffer beside Irvine, but it's kind of like XF doesn't do brave, like he doesn't actually brave damage. He batteries very hard, so he doesn't even have to worry about like he doesn't really have to worry about enemy brave all that much. He also has the ability to protect the team too. Ida has the ability to put a dot tick on an enemy. She also has a poison onto that, so that way she can actually brave sap an enemy too. Like, I just don't know why they put him in there. And I have nothing against Irvine. I enjoy his character. He is an absolutely funny guy. Playing Final Fantasy VIII, and it's just like, cool, thanks, I appreciate it, but I don't know why you're here in this banner. I would just think the 2 out of 5, man. I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. I just can't. This banner is weird. Like, this banner is weird.
With that being said about that banner, when it comes to the Sherlotta banner, I mean, like, this banner, in my opinion, is pretty stacked in terms of like support, because literally you have Sherlotta, you have Lena, and you have Aphmau. Everybody here literally provides party auras. They do have different shenanigans within their kit. Sherlotta, we pretty much explained everything already. Lena is a very good pickup for any newer players. If you need a character that provides debuff evasion via a buff, then you can definitely, or I would personally recommend picking up Lena's kit. It is very, very convenient to have. The other thing about Lena is going to be she does have a little bit of HP overflow, if I'm not mistaken. But not only that, but she also helps out in meeting with Sherlotta's FR condition with the changed Brave or HP command, because after you use an LD, her HP command, if I'm not mistaken, one of the 2, changes over to Dragon's Breath. It's a very lengthy ability name, but regardless of that, it is able to provide Brave, and at the same time, it does also count towards her FR condition. So she is a very solid character overall. When it comes to Aphmau, in a way, Aphmau, aside from like the small party auras that she does provide, she also helps in meeting Sherlotta's FR conditions, and she is overall a pretty solid character. She does have a bit of she does have some turn shenanigans when it comes to the tactical switch buff that she provides whenever she selects a teammate. And with this buff, basically whenever said teammate acts, literally Aphmau will jump into the turn order, and it'll pretty much be Aphmau's turn, and you can pretty much just go back and forth until you are unable to do so. So Aphmau is a pretty solid choice as well in this banner. So overall though, if you want to go between scaling of 0 to 5, I would definitely give this banner a very solid 4.5. For sure, because all of the characters in this banner are very much worth picking up. And finally, we're going to end off the video with letting you guys know what our plans are going to be for the upcoming banners. So me, I have been saying it for quite a while now. I mean, like Sherlotta, Brave gains Queen, Brave gains God. She is amazing at what she does, and like I told Kaiden not too long, Kaden not too long ago, I gotta get used to saying that, but I'm probably gonna stick with Kaiden. Yeah, Sherlotta is, like, I did not realize Sherlotta was that good of a character until, like, after I pulled for her kit, and then, like, I really started, like, using her, and I was like, damn, she's actually really good at what she does. And like the brave gains, the fact that we pretty much gain additional brave per brave hit is like freaking insane. And you know, like I have mentioned a few times already, like using her for those elemental lockout fights is gonna be very helpful for a lot of players who, let's say, do not have different ways to be able to enchant with those specific elements. So yes, I will 1000% be pulling for her FR and BT, regardless if I'm not going to be using her FR from, you know, for whatever reason. Then I will still be pulling for both weapons. She is 1000% worth, and plus I am a fan of support characters, and she is a support character that will do me well. So yes, I will be pulling for Sherlotta. Exdeath, I'm probably gonna hold off this time. I did green him in JP. I do not regret it or anything like that, but I'm gonna be holding off on Exdeath for right now until I see a potential rework in the future where his HP poisons do scale off of the FO, and if it does, then it's gonna be fun time. So yeah, that's my plans.
Sorry, I couldn't use this. Okay. All right. So we know the Lost is going after. He's going after he's going after Sherlotta. I'm thinking, because of how awful I am with resources, apparently, I don't think I'm going to be able to BT plus neither one of them. I will definitely try my hand at getting Sherlotta to the best of my abilities, but I already have Exdeath. And Exdeath, I am a debuff fanatic. I am reverse aura bot central. So I believe in debuffs, and with Exdeath, he is going to be fun. I just need to find a team comp that can actually like utilize him to the best of his abilities to really maximize him. And it's very hard for me to run turn hoggers, because I'm not going to say turn hoggers are a different playstyle for me, but I really enjoy Vayne. So it isn't too terrible. I also wanted to make another side note when it does come down to it. I know why Irvine is on the banner now for sure. He's there for Sherlotta, and I'm looking at Irvine for what does he do for Exdeath. It's like, no, it's not what he does for Exdeath. It's what he does for the other banner. and for the other banner, he can definitely apply. He can definitely help out with Charlotta's FR conditions, because he does have a changed HP command when he does use his LD. I think it's dark ammo, now that I think about it. And on top of that, he would help Melina hit harder in comparisons. But Melina's very self-sufficient. She needs no man.
She needs no man.
I think when it does come down to it, though, I was probably a little bit harsher on the banner than I like to admit, but like when I'm looking at it, when I look at all of the banner mates working together, and in the fight that all of the banner mates are entailed around, it is tier 10, and tier 10 needs to be something that everybody's aware of. This is not a cakewalk. I want everybody to be aware of this now. Maybe later with other units coming forward, you guys can like backtrack and smash it, but tier 10 is going to be one of those fights that is going to be very fun, and it's going to be very painful. If you do not have the correct team comps, and Sherlotta comes in like a very big ace here, she's going to make the fight a lot more bearable. But there is a reason why people have said this fight is tough, and that boss is very scary. And you have to have debuffs for it, so be prepared. But honestly, if I could green one of them, I would definitely green Exdeath. Exdeath is fun. I just really wish that his song would not copyright me, but whatever. I green Exdeath, but I definitely
want copyrights. You love to see it. Love to see it. I put up with that crap all the time.
I'd be like this too. Lost says this, but what he meant to say was shout out to Aphmau, who showed him the real power of Brave Gains.
Brave Gains for the win. Hashtag Brave Gains.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there. Hashtag Brave Gains in the chat. In the chat. As if I'm streaming. In the comment section.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Good
All
God.
right, can I start a hashtag too? I want to do reverse Orobots.
Alright, hashtag reverse Orobots in the chat. Let's see who wins. My hashtag or Caden's hashtag? The winner gets bragging rights for a week. How about that?
Bragging rights? Oh, dude. Yo, just remember, I look, I've been keeping debuffs alive, man. Debuffs are so much fun to play with.
That is very true. So if you wanna check out Caden's debuff supremacy freaking playlist, you're more than welcome to check out his channel, which that link will be down in the description below, by the way. So I think with all that being said, I think we pretty much covered everything. So again, Kaiden, whatever, K.
You can't give up. It's fine. It's okay. Like, at this point, I'm just Mr. Tactician. And no, I am not trying to take Bard's title away from him. Bard is the tactic simp. I am just a tactician.
I'm just a tactician. You heard the man. So, but yeah, hopefully this video helped out those who are trying to figure out if which one of the two you may consider pulling on. And do let us know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for this next pair of BT Plus units. So, Kaiden, whatever. Thank you so much for joining.
I see the kind of style. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, well, I guess my time has come, even though my name is Caden, but it's fine.
So, but anyways though, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we shall catch you guys in the next one.
Take care.